Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chess Wise. Today we are at the next endgame study explained, that is the 23rd position of our endgame study. We have got a slightly unusual position here. We see that two pawns and bishop are playing against the rook. So generally two pawns and bishop are considered equal, but if the pawns are advanced, then the side with the bishop will definitely have some upper hand. We see that the bishop is attacked right now, and if the bishop moves, then rook into h6 is there. So for instance, bishop f6 allows rook h6. Any move like bishop g5 will allow rook check, and then black rook can continuously harass the white king. So it is white to play and win over here. The candidate moves are quite obvious. We have got h7 check. We can't move the bishop as we saw, and g7 just allows rook h4. Any move like king f6 also allows rook h4, when after h7 just rook takes h7 and the position is at least drawn. King h8 would also win for black. So white starts his calculation in the line h7 check. When we see after king h8, bishop f6 is checkmate. But the main problem is the line h7 kg7, and when we can see that g6 is lost. Once g6 is lost, we see that rook, if able to control h8, then game will be at least drawn. First problem that we are facing now as white is after h7 check, kg7, bf6 check, king g6, h8 queens, then rook h8, bh8, and king and bishop against king is a drawn position. So what will white do now? He can't move his king, because if the king moves, then just rook into h4. So after h7 check, kg7, if the king moves, then just rook takes h4, h8 is guarded. Black will end up winning over there. So the only option remains after h7, kg7 is the move h8 queen check. But it looks like now we have surrendered, given up one of the pawn, and just bishop and one pawn versus rook. But here white is trying to weave the mating net. After h8 queen check, king h8 forced, and now we see after bishop f6 check, king settles on the g8 square. But here white has the strong move king f7. So after the moves h7, kg7, h8 queen check, king h8, king f7, and suddenly we notice that black is although able to take the bishop, then the white pawn would queen with checks and he will mate, and the threat is bishop f6 checkmate. Let's see the moves now. The h7 check, kg7, h8 equal to queen check, king is forced to take the queen. Now comes the strong move king f7. So again here we are using the concept of mating net, and the threat is bf6 mate, and also the second threat is g7. So if rook takes h4, then g7 check, king h7, g8 equal to queen check, king h6, when queen g6 checkmates. After the only other move, rook f1 check, we see that white has the strong move bishop f6, and we see that the king and pawn endgame which arises is winning for white. After the only move, rook takes f6 check, king takes f6, king g8 forced, and white uses the move g7, forcing the black king to move to h7, king f7, kh6 forced, g8 equal to queen, king has to move to h5, and as we have seen before, from here white just has a mating 2. Queen goes to g3, forces the king back on h6, and qg6 or qh4, both were checkmates. So it was related to the basic position of king and pawn endgame. I hope you are finding these lessons useful and instructive. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.